Quickies with Andy. Quickies with Andy. Done.
Yummy.
Hello and welcome to Menu from Mars. I'm Andy and this is actually Quickies with Andy. And what we're going to do today is we're going to make a scorpion bowl. Now I know that there are a ton of people out there that have no idea what this drink is. Some places don't add the middle Bacardi 151 and call it a volcano bowl, but that also has different ingredients. And there are as many ingredients for this as there are places that make them. It's said that this was started in Hawaii, and all the World War II soldiers started drinking them over there, and then it got copied in California and changed a bunch of times as well. And when everybody came back from the war, or at least the Pacific bases that we had there after World War II, they came through California and just started drinking these up. A lot of people, like I said, have no idea what this drink is. This is my version of it. We've worked on this recipe for a long time. There's a version of this out on the internet that is way too strong. So I've kind of tapered this down to make it a little sweeter, like we remember them back east here. We go to Chinese food restaurants now, and they're the only places that really carry them in the area, and they're different every place you go. So we found a taste that we liked, and I kind of catered the recipe to that. So we're going to do mine. I suggest you try my way first, and then go ahead and make it your own way. What you're going to need for this: you don't need this bowl. You can use a pitcher, a 2-quart pitcher if you want. But I have the bowl. This is a 32 ounce. They come in 48 and 32. This is a 32 ounce, so the recipe was also tweaked to fit in this rather than a 48 ounce bowl. We have ice, cherries, pineapple juice, orange juice, vodka, dark rum, 151, light rum, gin, grenadine, and a simple syrup that I made. Okay, we're going to start with the simple syrup. Now this is a replacement for something that's called orge or orgeat or whatever, however they pronounce it. It's a simple syrup with a little bit of almond in it and things of that nature. But I figure I make this for drinks anyway. I might as well do it here at the house. To do this so it's not thick, it's liquid. So when you mix this up, you don't have to mix for 10 minutes. It's 3/4 of a cup of water brought to a boil in a pan on the stove on high heat, and then add a cup of sugar to it. And just mix. Don't walk away from it. Just mix and mix and mix and mix until it dissolves, and then put it in the fridge until it cools to about room temperature. I make a batch, and then I put it in this mason jar, and I just keep it on top of the fridge. Yeah, I said fridge. Because once you do it right, you could do that. If you want to make sure that it doesn't crystallize, you can put just a drop of Caro in it while you're cooking it on the stove, if I remember my Alton Brown correctly. So you need this. So here's what we're going to do. You need your little food scale. I have my bowl. Again, you can use a pitcher. You want anywhere from 8 to 16 ounces of ice. But I usually just coat the bottom of the bowl, which is about 10 ounces of ice, as it says there. Now keep these cubes because I add those after as well. All right, and then the first thing you get is gin. Now I just bought bottom shelf gin for this. When I make my martinis, I use Bombay Sapphire, but we can just use a bottom shelf gin, and it's an ounce of this, and I kind of spread it around over the ice, try to melt the ice down when I do it. So there you go. There's 1 ounce of that. Where's my dark rum? I use Barbancourt, the 15-year reserve. It's made in Haiti, and it's made from actual sugar cane. And they have the fields right there next to the distillery. However, you can use any dark rum or slightly dark rum. Bacardi Gold, Bacardi Select, any other that you want to do. I do about 1.5 ounces of this. I like it because it's made from sugar, so I tend to use more of this than some of the other stuff. Whoop. A little more. If you've never smelled this stuff, you need to get a bottle of that stuff. All right, whoops. 151. I put in about an ounce to an ounce and a half of this, depending on if I'm going to put some in the middle here and light it on fire. So today, I'm going to put a little in the middle when we finish, and I'm going to light it on fire, so I'm just going to go with about 1 1/4 ounces. Ta-da! All right, then we have light rum, which, believe it or not, this bottle I've had for 17 years. My wife and I bought it on our honeymoon. That's true. Yeah, an ounce to an ounce and a half of this, depending on how strong you want it to be. It's Sunday, so I'm only going to go with an ounce and a half. Vodka. Same thing, an ounce to an ounce and a half of vodka. It depends on your taste and how strong you want it. But if you're going to use a 32-ounce bowl, you really have to kind of go with the little lesser amounts, the ounce to an ounce and a half, rather than some of the recipes out there that call for a lot more. So we've got this. Now I have grenadine. I don't always use this, but I like that it gives it a little better color. You could just use this simple syrup. You don't need the grenadine, but go ahead and do about a half an ounce of this if you're going to use it. A half an ounce to 3/4 of an ounce. And then I usually match it with this, but I'm going to do an ounce because my wife likes these really sweet. So I'm going to give an ounce of this. This is the simple syrup. Remember, instead of the normal amount where you put in a half cup of water for every cup of sugar, you want to actually put in 3/4 of a cup of water, like I said, and stir it up on the stove. And what that does is it makes it a little more liquidy so that you can stir it in really, really easy. Pineapple juice, 10 ounces. And that's just me. I keep zeroing out my scale. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 ounces. And then 10 ounces of orange juice. Now there are recipes that call for lime juice, lemon juice, brandy, all kinds of other things. Like I said, this is the recipe we found that we like the most. 8, 9, 10. So this is what we do. And I take a little plastic spoon, because it's in a circle thing, and it's got a little donut hole in the middle for the volcano. And I stir it up. Now, when you're done with this, and I'll bring it over so you can see it just before I add the rest, it should almost look peachy. Peachy. You see the color? That's why I add the grenadine, so that it has that little bit nicer of a color. All right, so I'm gonna put this down. Now, if you want to get silly with it, you can cut up a few slices of orange and add a couple of these cherries, and that'll give you almost the full effect of what you'll get at the Chinese food restaurant. This is a cool little recipe. It's not exactly like the other ones you're going to find out there. Some of them will be close, but we find, like I said, that this is the way that we like the way it tastes best. And then for atmosphere, if you have the bowl with the little girls on the front, which they don't put on the side, just the front, you add a little 151. My mouth is watering, I can't wait to do this. And you light it on fire. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but it is there. So you have a little flame, and you have this, and Then you just add a couple of straws, and you can either steal them from a Chinese food restaurant, or like me, you can just buy a bunch. All right, let's blow that out before I burn the place down. And that's it. That is a scorpion bowl, and that is my quickie. But I've had a ton of people ask me for this recipe, and you don't want to waste that booze. You got to put it in. So I figured I'd just do a quickie and put it up on Menu from Mars so that everybody can see how I do it. Take this, make it your own. You want more booze, put more booze in. You want less booze, knock everything down to an ounce instead of an ounce and a half, the things that I mentioned anyway. You want more, bump everything up to 2 ounces. Just keep in mind that depending on the bowl that you're using, it may or may not have room for the fruit juice. You can add a couple of ounces of lemon juice, a lime juice if you want. I don't do that because it makes it more tart than it does sweet, and like I said, we like them sweet. So I am going to, ooh, that's nice. So because I melted some of the ice cubes, I like to toss a couple in at the end too. So there you go. Now you can go off and make your own. I'll have the list of ingredients on Menu from Mars, but you saw it here, so that's all it takes, and it tastes real good. And be careful because these go down real easy, real quick, and you don't want to end up. So, take it slow. Thank you for watching, and I know I've done 2 booze episodes in a row. People are gonna start to talk, and hopefully the next time you see me, it'll be in a big episode with commercials and everything. Have a good one. Ooh, that's nice.